on Glory 93.9 FM.
Hi, I'm Benita Washington, and you're listening to Pastor Denczil on Glory 93.9.
You're all I need. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Glory 93.9. The freshest little glory to hit the planet. We're so glad that you're tuning in with us on this beautiful Monday, the day the Lord has made. We rejoice and be glad in it. I don't know what it feels like to be dead, but it feels amazing to be alive. I'm glad to be alive and glad I'm living, and I'm glad that you chose us to hang out with. Thank you so much for being here with us here on Glory 93.9. It's time for one-on-one with me, Pastor Denczil, and my brother and friend, Pastor Rickeno Monker. So glad to have him here with us, and so glad to have you with us. Please do me a favor, those of you listening by way of Glory 93.9, the FM band, please share the word out. Let them know that we are on. Tell your friends. I was just stopped in the food store a few minutes ago by someone who says, man, they like the station, like the talk shows, love what we do here. And that meant so much to me to hear that. We always like to hear your comments and how you are being blessed by what we're doing here on Glory 93.9. And also, if you're listening by way of Facebook, I was just talking about it off here. Now I got to say it on here. My internet just went on my iPad.
It sucks.
I feel like right on cue, this thing just going by. That's like, oh man, we were having a conversation about the amazing services that we get from our internet providers here in the country. How amazing! Now, amazing is neither positive or negative. Amazing is just amazing, and it's amazing. It never ceases.
Interestingly amazing.
Oh my goodness! And so I don't know what's going on here, but I just got knocked out. I'm on, and my iPad is saying try again. I'll try again, no problem. Boy, very frustrating. But anyway, we're so glad you're tuning in. So those of you who are on by way of Facebook, if you're saying good afternoon, I can't see you because my thing just knocked me out. Hopefully I'll be back up in a second. Okay, good. I can see you now. You're coming. Yeah, thanks. I don't know what's going on. So glad to have you. Please share it. Those of you on Facebook, so glad to have you. Peggy, what's happening, man? Peggy, it's a new season. What else is Peggy? Finish the song, Peggy. Peggy, finish the song. What else? After the new season, what happens? Shante Bastia, I'm glad to see you, girlfriend. Good to see you. Frankie, good to see all of you that are in.
Already.
Share the video. Help
you,
us
ma'am.
get. Oh, I thought you'd get that for me. No, but I was trying to organize my tea and thing, and I didn't want to spill over. You know, I clumsy.
Yeah, you have to multitask. You miss some opportunity.
I
You miss an opportunity.
missed opportunity.
Yeah, don't miss the new day though.
No, I was.
And she was standing there looking lovely for a while.
I apologize. I really wanted that machine right there.
You lose.
You can still take it.
Not by force though. You got to ask politely.
If it freezes, you can always take it.
Oh no! If it freezes, he better.
That freezes.
He better manage. That's all.
Have your part.
No. You go ahead. If mine freeze,
Give me yours.
actually when it freezes, you will know to do to get back on though. So
All right.
I'm gonna try see if I get a hotspot.
That's what I'm switch them because mine is good. Yours is the problem.
Mm.
So give him yours.
And that's the new iPad. What happened?
Yeah,
It's not the iPad.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is though.
So you have like a super iPad or something?
I don't know. It like likes me, he doesn't like him. That's just how it goes.
I see. Oh,
I know mine seems that's yours a little bigger.
it look pretty much the same. Nice.
I don't know if mine feel heavier than yours.
Because your case is extremely heavy.
That's my case. No, because mine feel heavier. It's the same. All right.
It is a man side band.
I got him.
All right.
All right.
Good. Anyway, of course, this is reality radio. So we let you know what's going on. Peggy and Louis ready to finish it. Peggy says it's a new season. It's a new day.
There you go.
Oh man, good to see you, Tanya. Tanya, I ain't never see you on our show before. I ain't never, and let me say this: I just tune in when you put your post for midday on Thursday. I just tune in, and I realize you don't ever
I
be on our
can
show.
confirm he does.
Yeah, you don't be on our show, and I don't like that. I can tell it now. I don't like that, Tanya. You're a good pastor here, and I thought I was a good bishop.
No, I want to see her be late for prayer meeting. She on this show.
Well, stay focused, man. She have a cell phone. She can do that. You know, but Tanya, you always tune in. What we talked about last week, Tanya?
Tanya, now don't set me up.
She said, ask pastor.
Don't set me up. Now, why you want me in this thing lying?
Anyway, listen, a whole lot of things going on. This conversation about the double dipping thing, I've been hit with that a lot now.
What's the double dipping?
The thing you brought it up actually, and I wasn't that aware of it until you brought it up last week.
What's the double
about
dipping?
those persons who were laid off and on pension,
Oh.
and then brought back and getting pension and salary.
Now, you ain't putting me in no hot seat.
You brought it up
After 2 weeks, we ain't being on the show.
You were spoken out about that.
That was a gym conversation.
You brought it in the studio. You didn't?
We was in the gym. That was last week.
We
We
didn't-
ain't had no show last week.
Oh, we didn't know about that on radio.
Last week was holiday.
That wasn't on
Unless it
radio.
was barbershop talk, somebody bring it up.
Yeah, they did bring it to Barber Talk.
What was the general?
They said they one time, they'll do that next week. so we can do that on Wednesday. Barber Talk, we getting hard on that on Wednesday. Yeah. Oh, I felt like that was on the show. That was in the that
That
was in the
was
gym.
in the gym because we didn't do a show last week because it was holiday.
That's right.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right. So we let alone that. You want to talk about that?
Man, you know, once you lead the way, I'll support.
Once I lead, you lead.
It's a new season.
I just,
It's a new day.
on that same concept, Peggy, on that same concept. I know, Peggy is our in-house new dayer. I have one challenge, and it's with this statement. This is what is being done in time past, and they know this. We do it. This is what is being done. I have a problem with that statement on the premise of it being a new day.
I mean, if it wasn't a new day, I would have a problem with that. But even more so that it's a new day.
Right.
We don't want to ride that wave.
Right.
No.
Right.
No. And that's why, in political parties, in organizations, you got to be careful who's speaking on behalf of the organization. Even in church, I need my leaders to hear my heart all the time.
Right.
Because they could go out and misrepresent where we are, what the Lord is saying, et cetera, because that doesn't, certain statements doesn't necessarily, like you all say on the show, on the radio, these opinions and views
Right.
expressed are not the sentiments of Glory, So
Right.
sometimes you got people making statements that don't necessarily reflect what the party is really all about.
Right.
Some disconnected somebody.
Yeah.
No one is a new day saying this was always being done.
Yeah. That language that ain't good. That ain't
No,
consistent
that's not.
with
That's
it.
contradictory.
Yeah. So if it is new, and that ain't what we gonna talk about here today, but I just thought it's brought up to me just recently again.
No, I think what you mean, the double dipping or this whole idea, but
the double dipping thing about
Okay.
and the whole concept of it, and I've been processing it, and
I mean, for me, I'll be honest with you, I do have some concerns about it. My first concern is why is it necessary to bring back retirees? Were they forced to retire? Did they voluntarily retire? If they were forced, I guess that put it in a different different category. So that's the first area for me. Then the next thing is, I understand the pension is for time served.
Right.
But let's say your time served is no longer time served because you're still serving.
It's accruing more time.
You're still serving. You see. So what I would do is somehow negotiate the pension on the back end so that they benefit from that perspective. But I don't know if I could feel comfortable with an individual getting their pension and I think we need to start to make some hard decisions there and let the person decide, do you really want to serve the public?
Right.
Is it about serving?
Or you actually hinted that word public servant?
I am trying to hint at that. I'm trying to play on that word. Okay. I mean, if you're a public servant and serving in these senior positions, the higher you go, the more of a model you should be.
Right.
So do you want a model service? And I think for a country that is in jeopardy, either say, you know what, I prefer to stay in retirement, or say, if you need me, I'll come and I'll serve. But I don't mind if you have to take this other thing away, because I'm not doing it necessarily for these funds. I'm doing it for the sake of service. And I think for where we are economically, that's the mindset we need right now. And I mean, listen, if I can make an extra dollar, I can try to make an extra dollar.
Right.
But when you're in a senior position in service, what's expected of you in service is sacrifice. The two are almost one and the same. You can't serve without making a sacrifice. And I don't even know if it's that big of a sacrifice.
Are you kind of that far? Are you stretching this whole public servant thing a little too far?
No, I don't think so. I think
because the public servant, that's a job.
So it's all calling it public service.
Yeah, probably because it ain't.
I agree with what you call it.
You almost pushing that into.
No, don't say church. It's principle, and principle is church or otherwise.
But I didn't know. I think that apply. I mean, because when I go to work,
yeah, but you're in the public service.
Yeah, and that's giving services to the public.
Okay.
Necessary service to the public. That's a job.
Why you think people choose the public-private sector over the public sector? Because there's an understanding that you don't make the same kind of money in the two worlds.
Also, there's an understanding that the bar may be a little higher for me to get there too.
You mean to get where in certain positions
in the private sector? That I can.
That is so.
I can get in there easier
in the public service.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's you make it get in.
Persons don't go in public service because they want. I mean, the average person don't go into public service, and I say this not as a disrespect to them, but to my understanding, because they want to serve the public.
Of course not.
They go for a job.
Of course not.
I get into work.
Yes,
I get in there to make money.
Good.
I can make you money, Mr. Government, but I need to make me money.
And I have no issue with you making yourself some money.
Yeah.
But in this instance,
when you pulling this whole, you stretching this whole idea of service,
and I will stretch it.
I think you stretching it a little too much.
I don't think so. I think if you in the public service,
let's just say government job. I have a government job.
No, it's the public service.
No.
You are a public servant.
No.
You are subjected to certain things and scrutiny because you work for the public. We employ you.
That's my job.
All right, fine.
And you gonna pay me.
Fine. But understand though.
I ain't working at this Battle Obama line. This is what I come here for. I come here to the road we trod. Listen to, I come here to work. I come here to make my money.
Fine, buddy. All I saying to you is, it's the public service. It is not a get-rich situation, all those things.
Who say that?
What?
This is my career.
Well, then you need to go in the private sector because in the public sector.
You say career people can't go in the public. What are you saying?
It's about your financial status and those are the kind of goals and ambitions you have, and that's a big priority for you. I don't know if you could achieve that as much in the public service as you would in the private.
You think so?
No. Why you don't go work in the public sector?
What you saying now is those people who go to work in the public service. Almost like you suggesting they have less aspiration. What are you saying? Now,
if you can start talking fool, we can stop this conversation altogether.
You gotta
no, sir. No, sir.
Open this thing.
No, sir. If you can start talking fool, because we are not. I never said anything about their aspiration.
Okay,
No. I talked about their financial aspiration. I didn't say aspiration. No. But you took it and you generalized the word. I'm talking about when you want to make a certain amount of money and you really want to hit it financially. I don't think the public sector is the place for that. That does not say that individual doesn't have aspiration. Their aspiration may be in that area to serve their country, build that industry, etc., etc.
I suggest to you that people have great financial aspirations in the public sector. Extremely great. Let me explain it. Let me
Right.
explain it away.
Right.
Because now I know that sure.
I don't know. No.
I ain't finished yet.
No.
See, I ain't finished. I ain't finished.
Okay.
That sure.
Uh-huh.
That coming in.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I get that 40 hours a week. I may get that 27 hours a week.
Well, and do something else?
And do something else.
Well, fine.
And I can get so there. What kind of
The only point I'm making is
See?
if you going into the public service trying to make a killing, ain't happening. You may make a living, but you ain't gonna make no killing. All right? Because the funds are always limited. All right? It's just so much the government is able to do. Look at what our MPs are paid. Look at what our ministers are paid, and they talking about it now. And I have no issues with them making a fair amount of money, because if you're gonna serve your country well, you need to be empowered to do so. But that ain't the arena to really go in and really hit it. You got to go in the private sector for that. It don't happen. And this conversation is not about the fact that we need to do better for our public service. We may need to. All I'm saying is, when you want them big financial goals, everybody knows it's a common accepted fact. You don't get that in the public service.
So I tried hard to because what I really try to do is make you say what I want to say.
No, I ain't saying it. You want to set me up? You don't try. You want to set me
I
up?
was there. You better than lie.
You ain't setting me up.
Is it because it's an easier road, it's a more guaranteed road to get to, or is it
In the public sector?
Yeah, or I want to really serve my country. I want to make my country better.
Now,
and
okay.
I want to suggest to you, and I know some, of course we all do. We pastors, some amazing public servants, but I am not convinced that the motivation of the vast majority of public servants is that, you know what, I could go private, but see, I want to really serve my country.
You're confusing the conversation, Denczil. The conversation.
No,
wait,
it's important because you find this in at the back end.
No, I am trying to say the motive. I'm not talking about what their personal motivation is. I am talking about what the sector is about. All right. So I may go into a service-oriented role with a different agenda, but I'm saying the role calls upon you. That's why it's categorized as public service. All right. Now, if you go in with some other agenda and you only want to make money, or you only want job security, and I think that's part of why we have so many challenges in the public service. And I will say that a lot of them are derelict in their duties and get mad at me. Pastors are. All right. So it's all around. But I'm saying in the public sector, we could do better if we have a mentality that we are really here to serve. All right. It's a difference. So you guys, when you want to be the MP and you want to be the minister and all them, there's a price. There's a laying down. There's a sacrifice you make. There's a giving up. Your family paid that price. You pay the price. That's why it is being properly called public service.
I don't think it's a fair comparison between the MP and them and the person that works on the second floor of the Ministry of Works.
So it's not the public service. All of it is not the public service. All of it is not the public service.
They get a job. They get a job.
All of it the public service. That's what they went for. But in coming in, the orientation should say, listen, we are not going to kill your career. We're going to do our best by you. We're going to do our best to continue to improve and overhaul the public service, etc., to make sure we pay you well, we take care of you, we do those things, give you the benefits that we could, all the benefits that we could possibly give. We should have that conversation, and that should be our goal. But let's do this with an understanding. You are here to serve. And sometimes service includes sacrifice. That's the whole idea.
Okay, let me ask the question this
way.
Is it any different? Is that service and sacrifice different from in the private sector? That's what I think. That's what I was tending towards. Are you suggesting that there's a different level of service and sacrifice?
Very good question.
Required in the private sector than there is in the public sector.
Very good question.
Thanks.
I think the motivations are different. Like, I could go into the private sector. Well, let me not say I can't. What is being commonly my perception and what I've seen is that people go into the private sector with a different kind of demand, because they can go in there saying, I am here for the money. I want to make the money, blah, 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 blah. This ain't no service-oriented nothing, all right? Now, we will serve to make the money. But in the public sector, you are serving to build country. And as a result, there's some compensation as you serve. All right. And I'm not saying we shouldn't do our best by our public servants. And I think we could, in some instances, do better. Because if you really want the best out of people, you got to incentivize them. Right. So what I'm saying, though, is when I go into the private sector, I can have that conversation. That's a totally different conversation. I here for money. Don't tell me nothing but serving no country. I here for money. If I wanted to serve my country and just be service, I'd go in the public sector. I'd go be Mother Teresa. I get my degree for that. I get my degree because I want to make some money, and these are my goals. When you come in the public sector, yes, you have your degree. You just as qualified as anybody else in the private sector. But there's a different understanding over here. We are trying to build country. That requires some sacrifice. We can do our best, but that requires some sacrifice.
You may need to be the Minister of Public Service.
No, Pia will do a great job along with Mr. Fred Mitchell.
You may need to be the consultant.
I will take the job. And I sure is for service.
No, we put you there, and we
expect you to serve.
$222 a week.
Your friends. Your friends.
Making the country.
Your friends.
$222.
Your friends. Look what my friend won't pay me. Oh my God.
Because I want you to serve my country.
I would. Who is making the decision with the money? I just don't need you consulting for them. Because I ain't made no money.
I hear you, my brother. I hear you.
Bro, think about it. If the public sector, what we call it the public service, was more service oriented, if that was the training, the conditioning, the mindset, not only from a perspective of you get, not from this perspective where you get less money, all that kind of stuff, but from the perspective of we are here to serve, and that is our conditioning, that is our attitude, et cetera, you don't think a lot more productivity would be taking place in the nation?
I don't think that's in the vacuum. I'm saying, because
Okay.
I don't, meaning that I believe the incentive that is needed is more money than anything else.
Okay.
And I believe that will help me as a public servant to give my country more.
Okay, so listen to me.
I don't know.
That's not service, in my opinion, because
and that's what I'm trying to tell you. And I agree with that's not service. I don't think that the vast majority of persons in the public sector came in with this lofty build the nation.
But my perspective is that is what it should have been. I'm not talking about what is reality. I'm talking about what the ideal is. And I know the world ain't like idealistic in reality. I'm just saying that if you call it the public service, then that is what it should be. All right. Although people ain't coming in with that mindset, they should be coming in. They should be coming in with the mindset, I'm here to serve my country. Like the police, like the military, I'm here to serve. Thank God I got a salary for it, and I think we should do our best by them.
But if they wasn't paying me, I'd still get in the ministry ways.
That's if you have a service-oriented mentality. But I'm just saying, and this is not see, I think we look at service. If the Bible is it gives us principle about these things, and these principles do prosper you, based on what the Bible teaches about servanthood, you prosper as a servant. So it isn't like you is some slave or some nobody, etc., etc. He that will be great among you must be your servant. He that will be chief must be your servant. Something about when you bring service to the table. And he said, watch this now. Your goal is to be great. Your goal may be money. Serve. And when you serve, you achieve this goal of greatness.
This utopian mindset that you have is amazing.
You call it utopia. You call it utopia. I call it reality. If it's the public, if it's the public service, serve. And then maybe we could rule out people who come with the wrong motive and agenda. You come to serve. And that don't mean we must make you slaves now. That's not what I'm trying to suggest. We should pay them. We should do our best by them. You understand this? The government. This is the government. All right?
So you do this for country, for love of country.
Even if that ain't what it was supposed to be, I wish it was that. All right? But I believe at the end of the day, we should take care of them to the best we can. Give them the benefits, the luxuries, whatever we could give them. We could do it. But let them come in with an understanding, guys, we here to serve. That need to be your greatest motivation.
I ain't nothing to say.
That's fine.
I ain't get, and I know you realize certain things about what you're saying. I know you're not naive.
Not at all. Not at all. I believe what I believe, given the realities that I know of. I'm not saying people come into the public service to serve. They're looking for a job, like you say. But I don't think that's why they should come. They should come to serve.
The public service.
Yes. Or don't call it service. Public works.
I better send a word. I better send a letter. Someone say, only change the name of the thing.
Just because this ain't working.
Rickeno tripping out.
Public service equal my MP send me, or man, I know someone who needs it.
That's what it means.
That's what it means. But should it be that? When I call that department, that receptionist should answer like they are a public servant. You serve the people.
They should answer that phone and sing the last voice of the national anthem.
Come on now.
Tell the road we trod.
Tell the road we trod. How may I help you today? My name is Rickeno, man. How may I help you today?
And Edward, march on Bahama.
Have a great day. March on Bahama. We got to upgrade the standard, lift the morale. And I learned, I was listening to something today, and they said, when you work for money, you seldom achieve it. But if you work for ideals and for nobler reasons, you always attract money. If you work out of your passion and what you love to do, you always attract stuff. Like if you pursue it, you don't get it. But if you work for more nobler, substantive reasons, you attract those things to your life.
Frankie, I agree with you. I mean, that's a nice, profound quote you made this now, but Frankie said, I think that teachers are the only ones that have this mentality. Although we are always looking for more money, we still go above and beyond the call of duty.
Oh, Frankie's a public servant.
You're a teacher.
Okay. I think teachers are the only ones that have this. Which mentality is that now?
The mentality that you're talking about that thing they're doing, this being a service.
A service. Okay.
You know?
Okay.
I
and definitely I see it with teachers all the time. All right. And you also see it with other people throughout the public service, but it's not nobody. I know like individuals you meet who you know serious about their job. I've had those experiences.
And they do it for love of country?
I'm talking about what Frankie says, you know.
And people who
like they really into what they're passionate about, their department. I've seen it with people in the education department and youth and other places. Like they really passionate about what the mantra of their department. All right. Now that may be one person out of the whole department, but I've seen people in the public service beyond teachers who have the same mentality. But teachers definitely do have it. The demand on them is far greater than the compensation. Look at nurses. Some nurses now we always get complaints from nurses, but you do have some in nursing who are serious and passionate about it.
A lot.
Okay.
I can go some, a lot.
Okay, I have not met a lot, but there's some.
Yeah, I can go a lot.
Good, fine.
Because I go through a lot. What does it go through? It's a lot.
I understand.
And but you spend 5 minutes in the hospital, you watch us. Behemoths?
And we don't average payment easy.
Bro. My experiences in that hospital, I say hats off to these nurses, yeah?
Right.
And I had some very bad experiences with some nurses.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man. Very bad.
Yeah, but see,
I still can say, wait, I see how we carry on.
Yeah. But you would not give that same blight to a pastor. All right. Now, I know you can say a pastor should be held to a higher standard, but if we talking principle, let's deal with the principle and require everybody to shoot for it. In our church, I tell them, I'm the pastor, but I expect all you to serve at the same level I serve at. I have the same level of commitment that I do. All right? Jesus, I taking up my cross, you all take up yours. I'm holding you all to the same standard as I. Yeah.
I wonder, see, and that's why I wonder if you, in your utopian reality, if you stretching this a little bit too much, because you are what you are espousing. I love the kingdom principles that you're espousing. I think is powerful kingdom principles. Watch this. I know you can say principles everywhere. I see the worker, the employee, with a mindset that is consistent, whether public or private. I feel a day's work for a day's pay. Let me tell you. When I first came out from school,
Right.
I applied for a job in public service.
They reject you? They know you're just wanting money, man, but once you wait for them, they only want money.
I only wanted money. I went there. I had a design that I did for my thesis.
Yeah.
For my master's degree. They were opening a new department. That was the actual name of the department was the name of my degree.
Okay.
That they were opening.
Okay.
See, it's easy.
Sure.
You know,
no brainer.
I'm passionate about this area. I can do some things for the country, whatever the case is. And I want to upgrade the systems of what my line of work.
Right.
So I met with had a meeting with the, what do people them call? Public Service Commission. When they sat down with them, brought my thesis with me. They started asking me questions, and one question they asked me, I said, that's not a good question. That cannot work. Your question is bad. I never forget this. I said, that question, that's a qualitative analysis. You cannot transcribe qualitative analysis. You got to make sure you speak to the nation that you're in. And I go and,
sure.
Oh, you made a very good point. I get somewhere. And all this, So they said, man, you the man we need, man. And can we get a copy of thesis? I said, I'm going to say, yeah, ma. No. Leaving you a copy of my thesis.
Right.
So then they say, okay, I think you definitely the person we need to head this department.
Right.
And then they call me back and say, well, Mr. Rowe, you got the job. We want you for this department. And, we saw what the starting persons of your caliber at different places in the government sector make. And so we can start you at $26,000. Yeah. I said, you can do what?
Whoa.
You can start me with what?
Wow.
You did read you asked for all these things, right? Did you read that?
Right.
No, and then they said, well, we know you're worth way more than that.
Okay.
But because of the scales in the government system and this and that, and we got to fall in line with the scales and this and that. I said, well, beloved, you take your scales.
Go play music somewhere else.
Listen, you can do that chromatic. You can do whatever scale you want to do. I am out of here. Now, especially when I found out that allocated for the position they was asking me for was $70,000 a year.
Really?
Starting.
So why they try and swing you like that?
Because they're the kind of things that's cause people don't serve the way you were talking about that service.
Wow.
But still, even if I didn't know the $70,000, in a way you can tell me I must come with all this master's degree, all this stuff that I have what you need, and you can bring me 20s. Come on, man. So I think that's a major part of the problem.
Yeah.
That there are very skilled persons who are passionate, like you say. But I come here to go to work. I'll run for government to serve.
But go somewhere else.
I'll run
because somewhere else will pay you.
But I'm saying that is what happening. And as you know this, that age-old adage, whatever the word is, says you get what you pay for.
So what are you suggesting?
That the quality of service we're getting
is
commensurate with the quantity of money that we're paying.
Okay. So how many governments around the world are able to pay top tier money? I'm watching House of Cards now. One of the things is it Remy Denton and Frank Underwood who keep having this conversation about power and money. Because Remy Denton was working in the government system, left the government system to go to the private sector because he could make more money in the private sector. And Frank was telling him, you going for money over power. And I forget the line Frank uses, but he esteems power over money. All right. In the government sector, beloved, in the private sector, we start this company for profit. For profit. All right. The government needs to be profitable in order to execute its mandate and carry out its various services. However, I don't know if we see the government as a for-profit company like that.
That's part of the problem in the country now.
Maybe it is.
Yeah, that's
Maybe it
a major part of
is.
the problem.
Maybe it is. So maybe we need to start calling it public service so that we could attract a different kind of talent level, etc., and make sure we could pay them. But when you come into a service-oriented situation, it's service over money, service over self. It is what it is.
I'm trying to find.
See, Mother Teresa give up her teaching job to go serve.
This ain't Mother Teresa.
All I'm saying is, buddy, when you call yourself servant, that's what it is.
I just looked.
Until the government decide that they ain't gonna be public service no more, then we do what we do.
I just looked up starting salary
For
an engineer at DOT.
what is DOD?
That's Department of Transportation
Okay. In the Bahamas.
in the United States of
Okay.
America.
All right.
You don't have a government job.
Okay.
And what I'm seeing here, the scale begins somewhere around $55,000 a year.
Which ain't no money. For an engineer.
No.
That's good money for an engineer?
You can start with that.
Okay, fine. Wow. Fine. So you're talking about $1 trillion economy.
No, you just talk about how government.
No,
you made our countries around the world. And what
No,
I'm saying
no,
to
if you
is,
compare that to what their
in all the taxes, everything.
yeah, exactly.
Like that, still miles different. We'll be paying an engineer. We pay a starting engineer in the country $25,000. You out of your mind?
That's half of what they pay in America. Our economy ain't even half of America.
That is foolishness.
Our economy is not half of America.
$25,000.
That's justifiable if you compare it to America.
That's the problem right there.
No. In my mind, pay them more, But you using the comparison of America. America
You
paying them
mentioned-
$50
You said public service around the world.
based on their population, based on their income. That's $1 trillion, one of the largest, if not the largest economy in the world. How could we be possibly compared to them? And they paying the engineer $50,000. That's a slap in the face.
I found the lowest number I could find. I can let you look up yourself so you see. What these numbers you see?
Big A.
What numbers you see there? Call the numbers off you see. I call off a number, the low number, right? What numbers you see?
What if she was
Okay,
in
I thought you were gonna say that. What's the first number you see?
76,000.
Okay. I don't do that because I feel it's gonna jump. What's the next one?
right.
What's the next one?
83,079.
Is that starting salary?
Yeah, that's it
Yeah,
for.
because it says the range.
That's just the range. I ain't starting salary yet.
That's
No,
amazing.
the-
Range for starting salary.
The range is for the top one. The highest is 163K.
Okay.
The second one, 141.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they didn't say starting salary,
No, she was
No,
giving
I
you the
gave
low end.
I gave you the low end.
which is starting.
Right.
Right.
And I gave you the highest.
Okay.
The low end was 70-something, 80-something.
No, you say 50. Stop it.
No, I found a low one.
Uh-huh.
'Cause I know that's what make you gonna jump on that one.
The
Yeah.
bottom one, but okay. The low figure is 54.
Okay.
65.
Uh-huh.
But the highest for
Mhm.
that low
Mm-hmm.
is 71.
Oh, okay. For that low. It's 71. Not too bad. Still close to 50.
But the highest for the highest.
But this ain't starting no more, right?
But the highest for the highest.
Yes.
The highest for the highest starting salary.
For the highest starting salary.
So the highest starting salary is 83.
Okay.
The highest for the highest is 141.
For the highest paid person.
Yeah.
Yeah, so starting salary is around with 80,000. And we're talking again about $1 trillion economy. He's trying to compare the Bahamas to America ability to pay their public servants. There's no comparison.
No, there is a comparison. We can't go dollar for dollar. But what I'm saying is, you have persons who come there as professionals.
Pardon me.
And I don't just use engineers, professionals. I do it because I know about engineering.
Right.
But as professionals, when you go into the public service, I'm using your word,
Yeah,
you go there with a love of country, of course.
sure.
Because obviously you work it in a way that you can.
That needs to be the predominant
that.
motivation. Not money.
Boy,
Not money. I'm sorry. All right. I feel as though what you were saying
you might be right.
is legitimate.
You might be
No,
right.
but what you were saying is legitimate. I think my perspective on what you were saying is this: if we could pay people better, like if they offering 25 as our starting salary and they can actually do 50, then cry and shame on us. That's actually still slavery. All right. If you could do it, you should do it. But if you doing it just for, like you taking advantage of people, you ignoring people's need for achievement and to be incentivized, I think that's totally wrong.
Let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
Yeah.
I didn't get riled for this. What? What happened? Oh, no, I honestly, when I look on the screen, I just be looking at myself. I don't really I give you a sign. What do you got on your screen looking at yourself?
I just getting used to looking at myself in the camera like that. Sorry, I just getting used. You gotta train me. Orientation. See, that's what public service. You gotta train.
But why
people.
you got it's still low though? You can put it up so it's still looking up at your face. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't be looking at him in the camera.
You're making a big deal of this.
Yeah.
Turn your thing so I can see.
Oh, so you can see.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
See how to correct it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but it's important. But yeah, that make you look cheap. You don't want to look cheap.
Oh, I don't.
Which is public service?
Whoa. Whoa, come deliver me out of this one, Marisha. We need a third party here. We need a third party here.
Oh, Jesus.
We need a third party.
Listen, there is, and I love this altruistic. Thank you, Brad. Brad's here with you, Bishop. Thank you, Brad.
What is Brad with? Explain what you with.
I am Dwayne,
Dwayne, which one is Dwayne?
Take them scales, turn them sideways. You know what wrestling, so you know the rest. I with you, Dwayne. Frankie say because they have their hands in the cookie jar. Oh,
that sometimes is the truth. Reason why they
public service workers are underpaid and overworked with minimum to no support. Yes, you're grateful for a job, but after that P&P paper at that first year
or that first year, instant go slow. Your MP better put you somewhere solid. Yeah. I totally agree with that.
I believe that there's that drive to serve, but this is why I always getting problems.
You believe what?
There is in some instances there's a drive to serve.
Okay, in some instances, make sure qualified.
But what I want to say is, I get knocked for this when I say this about MPs, and I can say it again. I believe they are underpaid.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Totally agree.
I believe cabinet ministers are underpaid.
I totally agree.
And I go into the public service again. I believe they're underpaid.
But could I ask you this before you move on, Bishop? Mm-hmm. Could it be that they have settled for being underpaid so long because they've been thieving so long? Because if it's being compensated for through your underhand stuff, then you won't really check in.
I was told that, and I need someone with a historical background to confirm this.
Right. That
back in the day, the Bay Street Boys and those guys back in the UP government, they didn't have to leave their private jobs to be cabinet ministers.
I understand. Okay.
And
so the salary is set as such.
That made them, and
I think that's a part of what should qualify you for public service at that level. You need to have a level of accomplishment.
No, but not only that, but I'm saying they didn't have to leave their jobs.
Right.
So they was getting that, whatever money they was getting from the state, they were still getting their money inside. So there wasn't no need for no hiding, no this and that and the other. I got to live.
I got you.
At a certain level.
Right.
I think we are somewhat, I think nationally we're somewhat naive in this mindset that, and let me go to the MP. He's only an MP at $28,000 a year. Listen, we are pastors. We know what it is to serve people.
Yeah.
If you are going to be a visible MP, MP, that can pull you down to pieces. Pull you down energy-wise. I'm not talking about as a person. It's going to pull you down energy-wise because people will be constantly pulling on you. Forget the cabinet office.
Very much so.
Just as an MP, if you want to be present and available and taking with your office hours and this and that and the other, that's aside from going to the house and actually what I think you should, and I wonder how much of them do his homework, where they literally go through with a fine-tooth comb bills and legislation that go there and they actually go and do research and go talk to their people. To me, that's another job as well.
Okay.
If you bring something like for me and you, we don't know much about cryptocurrency or this and that, and there's a legislation coming for that. We got to go meet people. We got to find out what it's all about. We got to talk to our constituents. That's work involved. There's a lot of time and effort and energy that goes into this. And I think the numbers, and I think you get what you pay for. The salary levels are too low on that level.
They are too low. I agree.
Now, in the public service, I believe it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I hear this love, this patriotism, this love of country, everything like that.
But see, Denczil, I think your perspective on it is wrong, because what you're telling me is what on your perspective, what I'm saying is wrong. I am saying to you, I agree with you. Where we can, we should make it happen for people. They're not slaves because they in the public service. So they should be well taken care of to the best of our ability. But understand, this is not a for-profit situation. And if we need to have that conversation, let's have it. All right? Where the government doing more to generate whatever they need to do. But it is the government who always seem to be strapped for finances, all got to be borrowing. We in big debt, all these different. Where we gonna find it from? So you have to go into that environment with a mindset, because now now it is wrong for you to be in that position, knowing what you gone in for and what you up against, and not provide this. No, you had to agree. Although you needed a job and you was desperate, you had to agree. It is only character that after you would have agreed to it, you perform the task. Don't now come in with this entitlement mentality where you already agree to something, your life may have changed, the dynamics of your life may have changed, etc., etc. You may have more children, whatever the case is, may have happened, and now you need more income. You want to come put that on me, and I believe we should do a level of increase or however the system works. But at the end of the day, when you come in and you agree to it, it's only integrity to perform for what you agreed to do. What did you do in that meeting? You say, take your scale and go play music somewhere else.
Right.
Once you would have agreed to it, you can't now sit there frustrated. Ain't fair?
I agree. See, I fight you. I agree. I agree that once you agree, you agree.
Once you agree, you agree. And that doesn't mean they should stay there. If we have real leaders in these departments and ministers, they should be even working as they work for the country. They should work for the people who serve the country to ensure they continue to increase them, do better by them, add benefits, do what they can, create an environment. Now, see, this situation where mold in the building and all kind of different things and data, that environments they have people subjected to, that's a no-no. A no-no. But at the end of the day, when you agree to let your integrity stand and or leave. I know that's hard, easier said than done. But if you believe you can qualify for more, go to the private sector then. Let me see you. You know why you didn't take that? Because you was qualified. And you knew you were. You did not have to subject yourself to that.
I think what happens in many instances, persons who agree, they agree knowing, okay, this is what I got to do to make this happen. Meaning,
okay,
I didn't agree, but I can have to open a petty shop.
Okay. Yeah.
I can have to do this. And so they have these other things. And so they're, oh Lord. Marisha happening to your machine now. Your machine, just leave me.
It's like what Delton and baby name?
David.
David, like every one you get.
I guess you're right. I guess you're right.
David on it.
Yeah, Jesus Lord.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. I try it again. Yeah. This I try to have a show when people send me these kind of things in the group. Man, this is really hilarious. Look at that. Try to be focused, man. I
think I can need some coffee because they doing me in the day. Oh my God.
I feel this. When the pandemic happened, let me go back.
Yes, sir.
I had no problem if the government gave every family $5,000. I had no
in the country.
Every Bahamian citizen give them $5,000. Pastor, all. Because number one, hold on, the airport closed.
Yeah.
I can't travel nowhere. Find a way to give me that.
All that money can go right back in our economy.
Right back in our economy.
Yeah.
So this idea of not having no money, I know I fully understand that. And now you be innovative. That's what we're paying you for. Find a way to make sure we get to them. That's here. So give it to them by way of local food store vouchers. Give it to them by
Right,
way of
right.
whatever the case is, BPL
Yeah.
or whatever the case is. Find ways to make this thing work, and that money can stay here and hang it around.
Sure. Now,
That
and I
can
agree with
circulate
you.
right now.
If we have to overhaul the situation, change some dynamics, and maybe the conversation we having now, maybe we need to relook at how we do public service. Should it be public service? Should we change the whole thinking so we could get more productivity? I'm saying as it stands, based on what they call it, that is what it should be until such time as it changes, bro.
There's a story somewhere in scripture.
Oh boy, I lose this one. Bro.
My ultimate example,
I lose this one.
Yeshua, Jesus the Christ.
I lose this
One of them said, that man from Galilee.
Yes, sir.
I love that man from
calling the
Galilee. There was a time and he was the epitome of a public servant. I'm no higher than that. He served the public, but more so glorified his Father. He was doing what he do.
Yeah.
Some synagogue leaders came to him and says, this brother needs you to come pray for someone in his house.
Yeah.
The ultimate public servant said, listen, anybody get time for that? I ain't on that run. I ain't feeling that. They said, listen, this fella, if you know the amount of money this fella put towards this church building fund.
Yeah.
And help us to build this church. The ultimate public servant says, where he live?
On that note.
Where
does he live?
Where does boy live?
Yeah.
Take me to this boy house, no problem. I got some spare time.
Yeah.
I'll go pray for the boy.
Sure.
That money thing, I don't care. It's only a matter of time. I mean, and I say this being fully cognizant of our need to serve and love this and all that kind of good stuff. But if that $9 ain't coming through, eventually that energy can die down, that can dwindle away. That we got to, if we can have that kind of, I don't know how we get here from where we started off in our conversation, but I think it's necessary.
Yeah.
If we can get the quality, the kind of quality you're talking about, I don't care how patriotic the people are.
Yeah.
I don't care how much they are. Man, that thing got to show up on the end of the month.
But then
that got to show up. Or you can have a skill drain. You say we having a brain drain. You can have our people can leave,
you're right,
and they can just go private sector, and you can end up with the same concern. You end up getting what you pay for.
I totally agree. All I'm saying of those who we have, because what you're talking about now, I am freezing. It's right next to you. All I'm talking about now is if we need to overhaul the system, let's do that, right? And I think we do need to pay higher. We need to do more, etc. I'm saying on the other hand, when you agree to $225, don't come in here carrying on and anyone do your way because they ain't paying me nothing anyway. Is that what we want to teach our people and train our people to do? No, you still put your best foot forward. All right. And on the government's side of this whole issue, they should be working to pay people more, incentivize people, give them the best. I am not against that. We want the best and the brightest, and we got to be willing to pay the price for it. I don't know how much government is able to do though versus the private sector. I think the private sector would always be more attractive because there's just so many dynamics, bureaucracy, government's changing, new policies. So much goes into this system over here that I don't know if that's going to attract real talent, because real talent ain't all this shifting today. This red say you're going this way, the next one say you're going now. They into that.
I can be honest. I don't know. See, there's a trade-off too now. There's a trade-off, public to private.
Yeah.
Being a part of the private service.
Yeah.
as opposed to the public service.
Sure.
And I don't want you to sleep. Now I can get in trouble and throw a rock at me. I ain't sure your typical public servant can fully survive in the private sector. And I say that with the greatest love, and I'm not saying this with no arrogance or whatever the case is. There is a level of comfort, and a level of security, and a level of my check can be there when I show up no matter what.
Yes, sir.
That even though we talk about the higher pay scales that exist in the private sector, the struggle is real out there.
It is. The competition ain't no joke.
The private sector ain't no joke.
No. Again, somebody started that company for profit. You got profit sharing and all kind of things. There's a lot of demand. They cut throat. They ain't playing. That's why they productive.
And if ain't no money making, we have to send you home. We have to fold our tent. If ain't no clients come in, we're not obligated to pay you because you are staff. You gone.
Different mentality in public sector.
So there is that security. So again, that again is one of the motivations, not so much the more money. Because when you look at it, okay, all right, I go to the private sector, they can stop me at, let's go engineering. I go to private company, they may stop me here locally at about 40,000 straight out of school. I get 40,000. In the government, I get 25, 27,000. All right, I got pension. I started for that. I sure I got pension. Shoot, I may get access to one little car. I may get one little car. That's the gas bill dropping during the school. That going down there because they gave me gas. And then I'm looking at how my pastor I'm a bearer. And he's taking preaching the game. I got to slip out here and there. I got to do certain things for my pastor, this and that. I got the wiggle room to do certain things. And all those kind of benefits. When I look at that versus this, I'd be like, nobody taking this. And none of those things was I get to better my country.
So, okay, fine. But when you go in, take whatever they give you. Don't complain and perform.
And you had that perform good because I was like, yeah, no, and you better take whatever they give you.
No. This what the job description is. This what we ask you to do. Have integrity and perform, or don't take the job. Now you can't make it in the private sector because you want flexibility, you want your show up at, you want to make up your mind where you want. So if money is more of a priority for you, go private. If security is it, then go public, but perform. Have integrity.
Oh man. Let me see. I get some more comments here. Frankie said no mother here. Aben Raynet Asante says I think we need clarity around the public service and what the employees are. Employees offering a service or public servants.
Right.
I agree with you. I don't know when that how came there, Frankie. So explain your how for me. Good evening. Oh, God bless you too. I'm beloved. Glad to have you on with us. The fact that they could pay us more. I really believe it. My philosophy is if it's the government, if the money's going to the people, it's going to stay here. Now, there's the online, that world of shopping things and buying things. Well, you be creative, find a way to make sure it stay here.
You talking about your salary?
I talking salaries too, yeah.
No, you can't do that. You can't tell me to do with my salary.
I call it a bonus, an incentive.
No, no, man, you trying to stimulate the economy through public servants?
Why can't you?
Boy, I get in the way.
But hold on, I can still
incentivize.
Florida.
And hey, how you gonna monitor me online buying from Amazon?
No. What I'm saying, the way I can give them money and value. I'll give them money and certain amount of value.
I think that's a lot.
If I give this money by way of a voucher, you wouldn't. Let's say you get paid. We paying you, Rickeno, you going there, whatever you going in as a consultant. And we paying you $500 a week. But we giving you a $600 voucher a month to BPL. A $300 voucher a month to whatever, water and sewage.
Right.
You are now making $1,300 a month.
And okay, all right, okay, I got
you
your
point.
I got your point.
However that works out.
And now their actual cash, they could feel more comfortable accepting that because life is it. Yeah, but I could tell you this too now, Denczil. As we give more, we got to do something with the training and the mentality and the conditioning.
You can't come slack.
Yeah,
you got to demand more.
Yeah, you got to.
You got to demand more. And see, the thing about it, those who supposed to demand more, they can't demand more because they on their side job too. Y'all, that's peanut. That ain't COVID. So they demand. They can't demand more because they ain't in a place to demand more itself. I know this person. They told me they had a government job. They told me they work in the same department as a friend of mine. I used to use a liar from the pit of hell. This person is not working in the department because I see them to their job, their business every day, all day. This is that person gets a check from the government. Them.
And I could just tell you, no management, all kind of things going on, and that's what's causing us to leak. I mean to bleed out, like all that costing us money, because that person have an assignment that could help to make the country more effective, and you can't tell. I don't wait now. Let me ask you this: do you think if, let's say, you go into the public service with a mind to serve, and you do serve, and give it everything? Do you believe that would have to generate greater output for the country and thus the government?
Of course.
Okay, so can you benefit on the back end then? I suppose saying, pay me and I will perform, or I coming in understanding you're low on cash or whatever, the economy tight. I come in and I can serve at the level y'all give me, but I am going to help to grow this department, whatever. And this is a wide cross agreement. We get incentive, we get inspiration, people motivated, et cetera, and they work hard. Doesn't that result in greater output, which can lead then to greater incentive?
No, sir.
All right.
No, I didn't. You shut it too far. No, you're right, but no, I ain't getting with that mindset because I take too long to reach me. You know how big this machine is? So I fix the machine in this little spot right here.
Well, all I know.
You know that output. You're trying that thing to spin around for that to reach to me?
All I know, when the private sector making a commitment to make you rich, I know if government making that commitment. We can take care of you in here. Government ain't doing that. We can make sure. We can put you on penthouse. We can do this. Government ain't doing that.
So we probably spend the last hour making the case as to why the double dip taking place. So when I retire, I'll bring me back as a consultant. Let me give me some money on my pension. So now all the money I lose, I make it up now.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is this. That's at the expense of the country. You shouldn't be a public servant.
I tell you, your altruism is just very admirable. I love it.
And I don't say that. I don't want to take anything out of anybody's mouth. If I can make an extra dollar, I grind for that. All right? I am just saying I don't think that's in the best interest of the country.
And I can go back and say I know these persons are convinced about their job, but they didn't. They when persons go into these jobs, and I think that's part of the problem. It's a multifaceted problem. Part of the problem is that we don't even see these people in the public service as professionals. We see them as government workers.
And I think that's a problem.
That's a major problem.
That's a problem.
And then we pay them as government workers, not as professionals. I mean, because the engineer in the public sector is no less qualified than I am like that.
Or do we see them as public servants and we realize that servants come with a mind to make certain sacrifices?
No.
We don't see it like that.
No,
that ain't what it is.
No.
They just come awake us.
They come awake us.
Got you.
No, that I ain't like this whole talking that you give me now. I gotta go and think about this because I ain't ever even considered jumping out. This servant thing.
Yeah, because you still mad because they try to give you $26,000, but you have to get over that. You gotta forgive them. You gotta forgive them and move on, man.
I didn't be good now. We good. That's a long time, 20 years ago now. We gonna be all right now. We all right. But I tell you what, no, I don't know who's listening to this show. I can't say that.
Hey.
I gotta be careful saying this.
Hey.
I will say it back.
Oh Lord.
Those persons in the public sector that have to interact with their equals in the private sector, that becomes a major problem. Something like that.
It is. I could see it, not definitely, but my mentality is this. Because you are a qualified pastor. All right? Great pastor. But you have to deal with, I can't make that comparison then. But anyway, at the end of the day, when we make the call to service, we come in with an understanding. We ain't gonna be able to compete. And my fulfillment comes from serving.
And I trying to tell you, boy.
But hey, why you come here ain't my problem.
Boy.
This what it is, though. I just saying, okay, if you join the praise team to be seen, that on you. But this ain't what I sign you up for. So you have one motive, I have one. At the end of the day, I call in the shots, though. So you better make sure in coming in, you come in with a certain mindset, because, bro, you ain't getting rich off this.
Where you get me is the thing about I made the agreement, and I with you with that agreement.
Yeah.
But that idea that I come in to serve, I am coming in no less with a service mindset in the public sector than I am in the private sector.
I don't know about that.
There's no greater, no less devotion.
I don't know about that.
To serving.
I don't know about that.
For the average person, there's no greater. I come here to do a job.
Well, if people know it, let me ask you this.
The point I'm making is that the person coming there to do a job.
So
the person go private or public, come to do a job.
Let me ask you this then. Why go into the public service when you know this thing? If you come in there, no. You understand the situation. Why come?
You can't. There's this abundance of jobs and abundance of opportunities. I applied all.
So
I applied all over.
So when you done apply all over and this all you could get, you gotta settle for it and be happy and perform.
I'm not settling.
Okay, that's fine.
I deserve the best.
Well, go ahead.
Absolutely not.
Go ahead. Go ahead. But you better perform here. You
Dreams die.
You ought to perform.
People die.
You ought to perform.
Because they settle.
You ought to perform. Because you settle. You decide. I can go. I can't get in the private sector, so I can go to this government job. I know that you don't say the pay scale is low. Everybody know it. Everybody know the issue is there. You made a premeditated decision to go into the system. You subjected yourself to it. Are you complaining?
No, you back to the agreement. I just talking about your part about when you enter in that idea of this service.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, and I was so serious, you may need doing speech, something like that. That thinking in there, doing speech, write one book, write a pamphlet. That thinking in there, bro. I tell you, I got to think with what you saying now because I come to serve. Now, mind you, there was when I did my projects that I did for in school, my school projects. I say, boy, you know what? But these things can work in the Bahamas, you know.
Yes.
So I did, and I still have mindset.
Yeah.
However, I don't need to work for government for that to happen.
You don't.
My benefit to the country, I can still do my proposal.
Great benefit.
I can still do my proposal and send it to them.
Yes, sir.
I mean, if I really am passionate about building my country, I don't have to. That service to build my country, I don't have to go to government.
You
to
do
that.
not have to.
I can get it to them. I can present it to them.
Yes.
And hey, this could work.
But if you go into the government system, know you're going to serve because you sure enough ain't going to get paid.
I get for a lower salary. I ain't getting to serve. I tell you, I don't know this.
Okay.
They going for a lower for security.
The only way to put yourself at peace is to tell yourself, I had to serve. Because you ain't going to be at peace. You're going to be a frustrated individual. You're going to be a frustrated behemoth. Find a way to find yourself some fulfillment because you ain't about to get rich.
Mauricio, you ever talked about this before? This idea of this service thing that Pastor Rickeno is opening here? You have talked about it before? But I ain't never think of this before. You doing public service now?
God almighty.
With a government job?
No. She said you're doing it now.
With a government job? We don't, see, that's different. That's different.
One thing with this bishop, you got
no, you trying to score points on that. I said, but with a government job, this philosophy on government jobs, the public service. That's what I'm talking about. I thought that's gonna be the answer because she just typed this now.
Yeah, I'm on.
Yeah. Absolutely, and one of them is you, Mom. Mary says overachievers are in the public employ.
Yeah,
they work their profession. I like it. She say employee. She's in the public service
because she wants you to know I'm an intelligent individual, and I agree. I agree.
Overachievers are in the public employ. They work their professions every day, giving it their best.
I totally agree.
Absolutely.
I totally agree.
I agree, Bishop Rule. That's Jason Stubbs. I agree, Bishop Rule. LOL, but Pastor Monka, right? But reality is what it is. Thank you.
I agree,
Rev.
Bishop Rule. Laugh out loud, but Pastor Monka, right?
But
Jason, I gotta meet you.
Jason,
you need to be a politician.
Jason, man, that's Rev. Jason.
Which Jason?
That's Jason Stubbs, Rev.
From in the States?
Yeah.
Oh, Jay, okay.
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
Jason. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
man. And it's real. Jay, you look too young on this picture.
You ball head, you ball head.
Yeah, you're right. Take age off.
Yeah.
Hey, Pastor Kellen.
Yeah. That is so not called for.
It's my beloved friend.
That is so not called
my
for.
beloved friend. But Bishop, I think the reality.
Say the mic.
Sorry, sir. The reality is, we do need to overhaul the public system. Until such time as we do, people need to perform at the agreed upon level. All right?
Level of service.
Yes. And I feel, in my opinion,
Mhm.
one of the best ways to make it through this year season is to tell yourself you're serving your country, doing something noble. That's the only way to sleep at night, because you ain't about to get rich and pay all your bills to zero on no public service job. It ain't happening. No.
Not unless you get out. You really don't have much bills.
Go live with your mommy, daddy, whoever you got to live with, and do what you got to do. Now, as you go up and qualify yourself,
Yeah.
I guess, the compensation is greater, but inflation going up the same time as your salary going up. Same time you walking up, there's inflation going up. So you don't even feel sometimes, you don't even feel increase.
And then again, in certain positions you work in, when you're dealing with your counterparts professionally,
Yes.
and they 2 and 3 and 4 times
Yes.
what you're doing,
Yes.
then that too takes a whole lot of integrity, a whole lot of Jesus,
And
a whole lot of.
And I think a whole lot of, hey man, I respect y'all for what y'all doing. But I do it for the love of it. I do it for the passion. For my passion, I do it for the love of my country. I'm building my country, and I go to bed. I walk away from that job every day, knowing I've done something to make my country better. And in fact, you are able to do what you're doing in your private sector job, making all those money because I do what I do.
And-
if you don't find a way to make this therapeutic,
And then we say, okay, sign here for the check. Sign up for the check for $870,000 now. Here's your check. God bless you. Have a blessed day.
and I go on
Yeah.
backsliding.
I do get on the book. Sign here, $870,000 right there for you.
Backsliding.
Yeah, and I do this for my country, and my joy is I know that I was able to empower you through you doing this thing for our country.
Yeah.
Here's a check. God bless you. Take care now.
Hey, it is what it is. That's the only way, bro.
No, that's another way.
You gotta not in the private, not in the public sector.
Oh, that's another way.
Oh yeah, okay. I got your point.
I told you that's
I
another way.
got your point. I got your
Now
point.
listen,
Let's mark this up. And
You could get this check on Friday.
Yeah.
But my children gotta go to school. That's what things that need to happen. Because this check could come in 3
I
months.
think we all can agree though. There needs to be an overhaul. They gotta raise them salaries and stuff, man.
Frankie say, Pastor, you don't believe what you said yourself.
No, Frankie, I believe that. I believe that, Frankie. I believe that 100%, Frankie.
I think that what this concept that, and it may happen, I may be totally oblivious, and
What may happen?
I don't know the public sector, that a speech of this nature may happen when they get the job. That probably may happen. I don't know.
Man, I doubt that.
I don't know.
Well, it's a very ineffective speech.
Some initiation, some orientation.
It's a very ineffective speech. They
Uh-huh.
need to be bringing you in there like every other day.
No,
or
that's you,
something.
boy. That's
No,
you.
they need to bring you in there.
I is the
Because
wrong
if you
one.
go in there, you cause problems.
I is the wrong one. They will be coming there. You're making what? And y'all come to this boring session with me talking? Why was it coming? I was staying home. But orientation. But if I don't get around me, let me sit in my desk and place all the day. Yeah.
Service over self, my friend. You can't come here to get rich.
Woo!
Frankie, go teach them students and let that be your joy that one day they can be making a lot of money and you taught them.
Yeah, because
See him right there driving that Mercedes Benz?
I thought it.
And I get in here in my cube. I can say one thing. I made that Mercedes Benz.
I was in a meeting.
Huh? I agree. I mean, except internally. Oh, what a joy.
I was in a meeting where a teacher of a multi-millionaire was telling them, because they didn't even recognize the teacher.
Wow.
And he says, "You remember?" Yeah, and they're saying it's a good time. Yeah, remember you had a teacher in grade? Yeah, that was Mr. Summers. Yeah, that's me. Oh my God, that's you. Yeah. Remember I watched you this and pushed you ahead, this and that and the other, this and that. And this person doing very, very well for themselves.
Wow.
And this teacher, just recently retired.
I've heard the same thing with coaches who like athletes who go off and do well.
That I have, to me, those stories when I hear about the athletes.
Yeah.
Some, not, and I ain't call no names and none.
Sure.
Those are sickening to me.
Yeah. That's very disheartening.
It is sickening
Very
to me.
disheartening.
Those who have done well and haven't gone back and made major deposits back.
Yes,
I have a problem with that.
And I think it's our whole system in the whole country and our mentality. We need to start having a different conversation on a totally different level, man. Because we ain't trained to do those things.
You know what? Watch this. A bad thing like it's not. That's why we need the church to teach you these principles.
Yes, I agree. Totally agree. Salt and light.
When we talk, and also when we talk about giving and being a blessing and giving.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Because it's a
principle.
conditioning.
That's a conditioning, man.
Yeah.
I've sat down with some persons, I won't call their names here because these things, I've heard this in privacy. But some coaches who they've had persons who've gone off and are now wealthy.
Yes, sir. And those coaches became like fathers and parents,
One
mothers.
particular guy said this person had a room in my house.
See?
Lived in my house.
See?
And how is it that you lived in this person's house? They took you in, and now you gone out there and you doing
For
well.
instance, right? My bishop, Pastor Bishop McPhee, who was a major blessing in my life. I could go to preach the pastor anniversary and look around for honorarium.
Right.
She can't give me no honorarium.
Right.
No, and I preach for year after year after year. I preach for a birthday cell. Never could take honorarium.
Right.
How?
Can't do that.
No.
Yeah.
So I preaching it. I ain't got to bless her.
Yeah. Absolutely.
See, but church taught me that.
And that principle works every single time.
And I'm blessed for it.
Yeah, I am. These kind of stories that I hear, man, they just bother me. The level of ingratitude that we see there, and persons who do very, very well.
Yes.
Who do very well. To me, that's people off the top. Parents, number one. That goes without saying.
Definitely.
You gotta do that.
Definitely.
And then persons like like a coach, the person who trained you and molded you to get where you are now.
Wow.
Come on, man.
Wow.
I ain't get that.
Wow.
I understand that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Sure.
I was gonna my plan today was to talk about. I waited a little while to come back to this after that post you did some time back, and I wanted to bring that back up now.
Post.
You did a post talking about church hurt.
I remember what I said though.
I don't remember either.
It's a long time ago.
It wasn't that long ago, but probably about a month.
Oh, okay.
About a month or so ago, and it was potent. It was a powerful quote.
All right.
How I think you tied in church hurt
With unforgiveness, I think.
with unforgiveness, and yes, and how and the individual's heart.
Yes.
Where you looking at everybody else for your issues, and could it be that the problems within you?
Yes.
And I didn't want to do it then because it was too hot. I wanted to let it simmer. I was going to do that today, but it's too late now to jump on that now. But I wanted to jump on that.
Topic, dog.
Yeah, I wanted to jump on that.
Sure.
I wanted to have that conversation. And then Delton and Vera had something about it recently on one of their shows too.
Okay.
So let them go. Let us simmer for a little bit.
All right.
But I think we're gonna talk about that whole conversation of church hurt, and and we will probably discuss some of the things we discussed concerning the weekend as well. In that whole church hurt thing, because some of the churches come from the type of message that we preach.
Very true. Very true.
Very true. Some of it has come through what has come from the pulpit sometimes. When it's coming across in the wrong spirit.
Okay. Yes.
We talked about that. We talked about that. I think that's we can have a
as we talk
holistic
about church, let's make sure we talk about job or your boyfriend out here is still crying after him. Let's talk about all these things because church look like it's a different level. Or like when church out here, that down the man in black, I do all kind of thing. You still there, but church right? What's the? And I'm not saying it ain't real, but I mean, you know what I think mitigates church right? Being a real Christian. When you recognize, I was reading scripture today. Jesus says, "No man who has left house and
you can
wife."
miss prayer meeting if we open this up. Keep on going.
Tanya,
make sure you place it.
Couple things, man. I got a chance to keep, but God to glorify. Yeah, because you talk about, he said, and you will receive it in this lifetime, and that's what he said. And he said these two words messed me up: with persecution.
With persecution, yes, very good.
Like Jesus said, "I'm going up."
So it wasn't just 100-fold.
No, this can happen. This is part of the process. He said, "I go up to Jerusalem. I gonna suffer many things, and I gonna be killed by who? The priests, the Pharisees." I mean, Peter and Paul having their arguments, all these different things. I've been hurt by church people, church leaders. But I love the church as much today as I did then. This the body of Christ. Like the love in me for the church, that ain't even natural. That's the Holy Ghost in me. So I feel this a Christian issue. This ain't a church issue. When you have a greater covenant with your church than you have with Christ, you're going to survive. On this rock I build my church, knowing who Jesus Christ is. Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God.
But then when that philosophy
Mm-hmm.
perverted has caused a lot of problems. Because those who were saying I love Christ, but I can't. But this church I ain't even. So I can just stay with myself because I love Christ.
You don't love Christ because you can't love. I can't say, oh, I love Denczil head. I don't love Denczil body.
Right. Right.
All of it is what makes Denczil Denczil.
Right. Right.
All right. And this love of God, is not innate, right? Like Rickeno don't really love God. The Holy Ghost and Rickeno love God. The love of God is shed abroad in our hearts. Like he comes and he convicts us and gives us a passion towards
His
God.
spirit in us cries, Abba Father.
Abba Father. So when you have this disdain for church, I automatically go to your relationship with the Holy Spirit because he can't be living in you and that's how I can survive hurt in your marriage, in my relationships, in all these different things because the love of God in me transcends what you do to me.
When I had this thing about church hurt, I always go back to that thing with this tripped me out one time. I was reading about Ruth and Naomi.
Yeah.
And Naomi gets back home to her people.
Mm-hmm.
Naomi says to the people, the people's around, and Naomi says, I left here full.
Yes.
And I came back empty.
Mm-hmm.
I said to myself, if I was Ruth, I would say, I standing right next to you. Soldier, I standing right.
You getting a daughter you never had.
You.
Yes.
And you making this bold house with me right next to you. I left here full.
Come back empty.
And I come back empty.
She call me Mara. She better now.
And Ruth standing right next to you.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Lord, if I was Ruth, that's me. I out here. This ungrateful woman. I here watching, make sure she don't fall on the road. All this heat to drive to come back way here to back home. I travel from Moab. You ungrateful woman. But
she said, say, your people could be my people. Your God could be my God. I letting this talk hurt me and move me out of place and out of position. And I feel like that's how a lot of believers forfeit a whole lot. Because this hurt thing, I believe, is a maturity thing. We don't want mature.
That's what I do every show, and then you can get me for it. But I back to us. I wonder if we do our job all the time. It's across the board. We as pastors. Because, boy, when that kind of thing happen,
what kind of thing?
When persons could just disconnect so easy.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie. Eyes look at me hard.
Yes.
From the standpoint of not that they left, but boy, did I really prepare them for what they should be doing as a believer? Because they leaving their word source.
Yes.
Because of something petty like that.
But bro, I
say that personal, like, boy, I must see, not personal as in I heard they leave. I ain't went for that.
Yes.
I think that's their mentality.
Yes. I'm trying to say what impact did you have?
What did I do to get this kind of mentality?
Let's go all the way back.
Yeah.
What did God do to Satan? He didn't train him.
It's powerful.
He didn't give Adam the word. Jesus wasn't teaching Judas. Gehazi wasn't getting everything he could have gotten from Elisha.
You used to preach good, but you could preach.
Oh, I just saying, bro, you taught me well. So if you could be in heaven with God and turn around and freak out and then let the devil influence you, let Lucifer influence you, that angels could go and walk with Lucifer, bro.
That's good.
All of us as pastors, and if you respect yourself and respect what you do, you will ask yourself that question.
Yeah.
Because, but on the other hand, you have to think about it, man. People, when the enemy get in and magnify and these seeds are sown, et cetera, it's a serious thing, bro.
Yeah, man. When offense can make you disconnect. Offense. So you tell me you leave because this word didn't touch me no more. This word don't cut through. Listen, I get it.
Right.
If the language of the house is no longer your language,
right.
I get that.
Right.
And anybody who comes to me and say that, listen, you need to go pray.
Sure.
I'll be praying with you that you find the house. That
you could process that.
Yeah. And that has happened to me.
Sure.
That has happened. There's someone who said to me, man, that what you preaching ain't resonating with me. I said, well, listen, I also preach when it happens, you better go pray because you need to find somewhere to go.
Yes.
Either you're in alignment.
Yes.
Well, I said, now I know one thing. I ain't in alignment. I ain't in alignment.
Sure enough.
So you need to go find out, make sure you're in alignment. And if you know you're in alignment, you need to find that house.
Yes.
That speaks to where we think you are in your spiritual journey. So I celebrate that. I cool with that.
Yeah.
You cool because somebody said your word resonates with them. Absolutely.
Right.
Because I realize I ain't everybody pastor.
Indeed.
But when it's, this person made me mad and I don't this and I don't, Is the word working? Yes. Is the word you man? You this word blessing? You're like, yeah. Where you going? Where you going? So anyway, so we can do a whole show talking about this whole trade thing.
I think it'll be a blessing to the body.
Yeah, so we can do that coming up soon. We before we end, we congratulate Global United Fellowship on their virtual
Hybrid.
hybrid day. On their hybrid conference.
Yes.
I watched several of the sessions and was extremely blessed by those sessions that I caught.
Sure.
And so we say hats off to Bishop Ellis and for the trailblazing works he continued to do
Great
as a I tell people all the time I'm proud of Bishop Ellis because I'm a Bahamian.
Yes, sir.
And I was proud from me being a place of authority, but just he makes me proud to say I'm from the Bahamas.
Right.
The level of and we had National Heroes Week last week. The level of reverence that I see persons have for this man. Outside, personal friends of mine in the United States and other places, the celebration that they have and the honor they have for this man, that makes me proud. I feel I'm proud to say, I know him. I'm proud to say that I talked to him.
That fella from Venezuela saying, man, I preach your sermons.
I
owe you royalties.
Yeah, yeah, I'm proud, man, and I pray more of us in the body of Christ we can see those kind of things, man, and not wait until his voice is no longer on this side. Whenever the Lord does that 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, when that happens, that then we start celebrating who he is, like we did for Miles Monroe.
Sure.
Because many of us missed the fact that there was this gem among us who had come from among us. And all of, I mean, the pouring out of love that took place after November 9th, 2014, because Dr. Miles transitioned. Boy, if he had gone half of that in his lifetime, more lives would have been on purpose than on vision.
Isn't that something?
More lives would have been on purpose than on vision. Wow. So we honor the gifts that are among us. The government, boy, they moving, boy.
Ooh.
The government, they moving, they doing things. You're seeing a lot of movement. I think if they stay at this pace, getting things done, just doing things. Yeah. And my encouragement to them is stay at the low hanging fruit. Get all them low hanging fruits, get them now.
Yeah, makes sense.
Don't go after them on top of the tree yet.
Make a lot of sense.
Work on them on top of the tree, but these low hanging ones, man, tear these down now.
Make a lot of sense.
So we watching what's going on. There's a whole lot of ministers in place. I'm interested, and I can say this because he's a man of God, a pastor. We're watching Pastor Vaughn Miller. Got a cabinet post, substantive minister. Is it National Resources? And I think and the environment, I think it is. It's a big portfolio, Pastor Vaughn. You're one of us, and so we're rooting for you. We're praying for you. And we want to see you do some great things there. Make a mark there. I think we've never had a minister of natural resources. You're gonna be the first. So we're expecting great things, and hopefully we can try to get him on at some point to hear what the agenda is, what he'll be doing. All right, those of you that tune in, thank you so much for tuning in with us for this show today. We got prayer at Word of Life that's kicking off. That's already kicked off. Tanya didn't start. She ain't coming in no more. Mom didn't come in late. Mom coming 7 after 7. She in the car on the way to prayer.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Stop using the phone and driving there.
No, she have it set up on the she texted the light.
She scheduled a text.
Yeah. When she had a light, she texts. All of you that have tuned in, thank you for tuning into the show today. Yeah, next week we can talk about church, man. We can hit this church thing. We can talk about it good. I will also do a show about musicians soon too. I want to do that. I let that things calm down. We come into that show as well. And
this could be spicy.
Yeah, we can heat it up. I don't know.
Fill the chairs with musicians.
We should do that, eh?
Yeah.
We should invite. Somebody you anybody have church, right? We can invite for next week.
A million of them.
I don't know if that's good or bad. I ain't sure.
The first millennial you meet walking out the store.
Yep. That is so. I do not agree with that statement. I do not like that. Say the
first millennial you walk. Oh, they wake on my nerve.
Jesus, take this bad to say on the radio. Anyway, I say that. Billions, I love you all. Yeah, God bless you all. Anyway, we can be back next week. Talk about church. Next week is church. We can find some. If you want to volunteer at talk about church, anybody who's doing it right now, and you've been hurt by the church, and you want to come and sit with Pastor Mark and myself, we have 2 available chairs here. Yep. Please give us seriously on a serious note. If you're listening right now, if we serious about this, if you are watching online now and you say, "Listen, I want to be a part of this conversation about church hate. I want to talk about this. I was hurt by the church," Or I think people who are know, but they're hurting by the church. However you fix, hit us up, and we will show us you vaccinate the airplane. Come on here, we can have you on the show, man. Next week, it's gonna be a good one. All right, everybody. Word of Life is having prayer now. We had prayer as well at Life Worship Center. If you in the Western Corridor, the Northwestern Corridor, I'm headed with the Word of Life across from the Guardian. And if you are anywhere in that Southern Corridor, we're gonna be at C.H. Reeves. Eastern Southern Corridor, that's where we're gonna be. And we're there now in our time of prayer. We invite you to join us. It's gonna be a blessing today, I promise you. Until then, we're gonna see you all later on, man. Have a blessed one. We out.